You sound thick.
You sound thick, you said?
Yeah.
Dude, good thing you guys could do it early. Much appreciated.
Dude, I hate you.
Also, Cody was right. It was to get pussy.
I know. I knew that. I was like, there's no doctor, like specialist in the office on a Saturday afternoon. I know my boy too much. He said an appointment.
An appointment. Dude, I used to tell my friend when he would like, hey man, where are you? I'd be like, dude, I had to run some errands, my bad. And he was like, are you just buying comic books? I was like, yes, that's actually what I'm doing. So I would always use errands as a way to just procrastinate.
So yeah, don't put it past Jake. He'll get pussy before recording an episode, and no one's gonna fault him for it.
Yeah, I know it. I knew this. I knew it. As soon as he said appointment, I said, "That dirty whore."
Also, why not just tell us the truth? So we'll be like, all right.
Because you guys, I would be pissed if someone tried to.
So you gave us like the most poorly feigned lie of all time. Like, I respect you guys enough to not flake unless I want to flake. Then I'll lie to your face.
Well, now it sucks because if I ever do have a real appointment now, you're never going to believe me.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You're like the dude who cried pussy too much.
The boy who cried pussy. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, I've been having a good week, man. I've like literally reconnected with a whole ton of slores, so it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Good for you, pal.
I thought you were going to mention that you came to New York. You were like, I thought you were going to say I've reconnected with some old friends. But no.
Did you guys hang out when Jake was in New York?
Yeah,
dude. That was dope as fuck. We saw Anthony's apartment.
Yeah, we smoked in my bathtub.
Yeah, we did. We talked about Judas for like an hour.
We talked about Judas, yeah.
Oh, Judas.
That was fun. I got to see Sean and Rob Moretti and Kent.
Love them boys.
Shout out to the OGs. I love Rob Moretti refused to drop me off home that night, even though I live 10 minutes away from Kent.
Oh shit. Really?
I was like, dude, I live right. And he's like, oh man, I live in Hartsdale. I was like, yo, where I live is actually closer to Hartsdale. He's like, he was like, I can't do it. I was like, damn, bro, all right. So me and Kent just waited on the corner by his apartment for my Uber to come.
That's sick.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Kent.
Yeah, shout out to Kent. Shout out to Rob, you piece of shit. No, no, it was fun. It was fun seeing everybody.
Yeah, it was good times. But I feel like Cody had a week last week that's worth talking about.
Cody, tell us about the festival, man. Cody, you put on your first ever comedy festival.
Yeah, I put on my first comedy festival.
First
3
ever.
days.
That's sick.
Dude, it was honestly, okay, so I'm going to say this. It's the most successful thing I've ever done and the coolest thing I've ever done.
Nice.
Also, I made no money.
Well, but is it about making money?
Yeah, it's not.
Money. Exactly. The what I gained in value. Like next year, if I put it on again, maybe I can actually like make a little bit of cash. But it's not about the cash for me. The fest is. I just like to make that joke because people are surprised that I say I made no money when I say it's the most successful thing I've ever done. But yeah, it's basically like it was 3 days. I got nationally touring headliners. I had one of the best sets that I ever did. The co-founder of the Hard Times said he loved it, and
that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, he said he loved it. He said straight up, he was like, dude, if you keep taking care of your scene and working on this fest and stuff, it was like within just a few years, I could see it being the biggest independent comedy fest on the East Coast.
Nice.
That's sick.
Yeah, and that's coming from the co-founder of the Hard Times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, them and Dave Ross, who headlined, both said they would give me spots in LA and New York if I'm ever around. So that was fucking sick.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Wait, I'm an idiot. What's the hard times?
It's like ooh, I'm wearing a shirt.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. It's basically like The Onion, but instead of being about politics, I mean, there's still political stuff too, but it's more like focused around punk rock and alternative music scenes and stuff like that. Like it's a satire magazine.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So the shit that like a recent article they wrote was like Mandela effect. Some people seem to remember the Red Hot Chili Peppers writing a decent album. Another one was hyper realistic dildo smokes all of girls' weed and can't stay hard. So that's the kind of stuff that they write. But yeah, so they came out and hosted one night of the festival. It was the highest selling comedy night we've had since the pandemic. We had Dave Ross, who's like one of my favorite comedians. He's from LA, but now he's splitting coasts. And he's got a sick podcast and a great LA weekly comedy show. And, you know, just a hilarious dude. So that was like one night. The first night was a game show. Pete Musto from the Midnight Gardeners, his comedy group, did a game show called Pitch a Movie.
Hey, shout out to Pete.
Pete Musto. We remember him. He came on an episode. Go check out that episode. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, but they killed. It was so funny. The game show was, and it was so cool because I was talking to them afterwards. They're like, dude, this is a pretty cool thing you got set up. And I was like, yeah. And we were just talking. They're like, we love doing comedy fests. I was like, actually, this is my first one. And they're like, wait, you've never like attended a comedy fest like as a fan? I was like, no, I've never been to a comedy fest at all.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know you've never. I mean, I've never been to one, but I actually, for some reason, just assumed, Cody, you would have been to one.
Yeah, or performed at one.
I've performed at music fests.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
But not at comedy fests. And that's kind of where I base the model off of. I base the model off of music fests that I've been to and then like kind of mix that with like research I did into comedy fests.
Okay.
But yeah, and so that was the second day. Third day was a blast. It was the all-day comedy and beer festival. It was sold out. Motherfucking Amina Amani, old ACI, dude, and she was cool as hell. She was super sweet. She was like, dude, I can't believe you took like 5 years. She literally was like, I can't believe you took like 5 years off of comedy. You're fucking killing. You're hilarious.
Is that how long you took off? 5 years?
Like 5 or 6.
Shit, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so from like 2010 to like 2017.
What did you do during that time?
Or 2011. I was a plumber for 2 years. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When I first moved back from New York, I was a plumber for 2 years. And then I went back to school for a couple years.
Oh, that horrible time. I remember. Yeah, now I know.
I got back with my ex and, had no personality for a little while.
Yes, and, that's true. For a solid like 2 years, you had no personality.
Yeah,
these were the dark years.
Yeah,
Cody's dark ages.
So and then I discovered comedy, and I was like, oh, this is way better than being in a loveless relationship.
That's awesome.
But yeah, dude. So Amina was super cool. Hung out with people all day. Did that hot wing contest that was on the.
That was good. That was a funny video. Yeah, I like that.
Dude, it was hot. My old boss at the brewery knew I was going to be doing it and made this insanely hot, like Reaper garlic sauce. It was the kind of thing like the moment it touched my lips, they just started tingling like crazy.
Jesus, yeah, I've been there.
And, it was just honestly like I fit, like if I were to spread those shows out, I would be like, yo, those are 3 of the coolest shows I put on this year. But I did it all in a 3-day span.
Nice.
On top of other things like house shows and, making sure it was like, and I didn't do it alone. I had a co-organizer, but it was a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, I'm both impressed and happy because, dude, you're never that organized in life.
Dude, comedy has forced me to be organized.
I'm surprised on a technical level, that you've pulled it off on a technical level. Not that you don't know enough people, but like just that organized time slots. How did you do that? Cody, canon, and time, they don't go together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Truer words have never been
Yeah,
spoken.
like I'm serious. I'm impressed. Why can't you? Where is
that was my one weekend of the year.
Yeah,
that I'm able to be organized.
1 week in the year, Cody is on time.
Yeah. The rest of the time, my life is just like me speeding from one place to the next because I'm running late, you know?
Yeah. Well, nice. That sounds awesome, though, honestly.
Dude, it was so fun. And hopefully, like a long-term goal, I'd love to get Comic Synchronic to do the fest one year.
Nice.
But yeah. So anyway, dude, it was literally one of the coolest things I've ever done. I'm already starting plans for next year. Already working on like a lot of technical changes so I can, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. You probably have like a lot, in a good way, like a lot to learn from so as to like expedite the process next year. And also just like make it work like smoother. You're like, all right, this worked, this didn't work.
Make some money next year, hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, just like be smarter about
until it becomes a fire fest and people die.
Jake, don't give away my master plan.
Get Ja Rule for the next one.
Oh yeah.
I think Ja Rule.
Get Ja Rule.
That's what we need. If one man knows how to promote a music festival, it's Ja Rule.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Ja Rule, Ja Rule, he does his own thing, man.
Yeah,
that's one way to put it. You know who else does their own thing? Fucking the Hulk.
Oh yes, I was
like waiting for my moment. I wasn't ready to make that kind of leap, but I'm glad you did, Anthony.
I thought maybe someone was going to be like, the comedy festival was out of this world, and someone would be like, you know what else is out of this world? Planet Hulk. And then feels like a long time actually since we've done this.
Yeah, it is. It's been a month.
Do I even know how to do this anymore?
Dude, yeah. Who are you?
Who am I? Welcome back to Comics and Chronic, everyone. I'm Jake FH. But one of your hosts, as always, the homies Anthony Iannaccio and Cody Walaka Cannon are with me.
Woo woo.
The warbound.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll have to decide who each one of us is. But today,
for sure,
I have some ideas.
Yeah, today we talk Planet fucking Hulk.
Yeah, what a story!
I love this comic so much.
I love it too. It's like one of my most favorite Marvel comics.
Yeah, I would put it in the best, like top 10 Marvel events of the past like 20 years.
Easily. Anthony, who's it by again? Romita?
No, Greg Pak.
Greg Pak.
Oh yeah, Greg Pak.
And the artist, there's like a bunch of different artists. Like
yeah, it changes while staying like relatively similar.
Yeah, it has like the same aesthetic.
Yeah, they do a good job of like being not too crazily different, you know?
Yeah, it never gets jarring.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is from back in 2006, 2007. It's not a recent comic, but it's a comic that I like, you know, growing up, I read comics here and there, but I was never like super into reading comics. But like when I was in high school, I picked this comic up and it was like one of the first comics I picked up ever and like sat there and like read it, and it like hooked me into the way I read comics up until today. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to stop reading from that point. Like it made me like the Hulk. It made me like reading comics. It like made me want to read more about the Marvel universe. But it's like such a self-contained story that you don't have to read anything before it. You definitely want to keep reading after. We could talk about that later. But man, I just love this comic.
It's a bomb ass comic, and I agree. Like all you have to know is the Hulk, which everyone does.
Exactly.
And if you want to just read a solo Hulk story, and honestly, that's probably my favorite part of it is how little Bruce Banner is in it, and this is like a true just Hulk story.
Yeah, Hulk at his crazy. Like he's somehow more intelligent, but still the same.
He can articulate, but he's still a savage.
Yeah, he's absolutely
he's a pure savage in this in the best way possible. And also, I love that, quite frankly, let's be honest, this is just Gladiator, but with the Hulk.
Yeah, dude, literally.
And Gladiator is one of my favorite movies. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that somebody sat down and was like, Gladiator's sick, but what if instead of Russell Crowe, it was the Hulk?
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know, are you not entertained?
Yeah.
You know?
It totally was that. It's Gladiator. It's Spartacus.
Well, to the surprise of no one, I haven't seen Gladiator.
Well, actually, that kind of does surprise me, to be honest.
Anthony, you're fired.
That's a really popular movie. How have you? Oh, dude, what?
Just never seen Gladiator.
You've never seen Gladiator?
Bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed, you silly child.
yeah.
But I imagine I would really like it if it's that similar to Planet Hulk.
I mean, it is. Ask anyone. It's just the plot of Gladiator, but with Hulk. But it works. I'm not like criticizing it.
It's so cool because you get to see Hulk in like a brutal way that like he doesn't have to hold back in this.
Not at all. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he just like because of the planet he's on, he can't hold back. He has to fucking survive that shit. There's all kinds of crazy beasts and emperors and shit. We might as well get into the synopsis of it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't want. Does someone want to do it?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. All right. So like the story immediately starts off and Hulk is like in a spaceship headed towards a planet. And it turns out the Illuminati, this is the one thing like you don't even really need to know it, but you see on a screen, it's like Reed Richards, Black Bolt, Doctor Strange,
Tony Stark,
and Tony Stark, Iron Man, yeah. And they're like, listen, like, a story happens before this that you don't need to know about that he basically like loses control in Las Vegas and just like rampages. And they're like, fuck, like Hulk is doing this too much now. We got to do something about it. So at the beginning of Planet Hulk, he's shot into space by the Illuminati, those guys, because they're like, listen, Hulk, you're doing too much damage on Earth. We need to get you out of here. This is our one and only chance. So we're sending you away where you could like be on your own because, you know, the Hulk always wants to be left alone. So like to them, it's like they're doing Earth a favor and the Hulk a favor. But he goes through like this portal that he's not really supposed to, and he lands on Sakaar.
Yeah.
Sakaar.
Well, yeah, so also like it's important that like they're talking to him as he's Bruce Banner because they trick Bruce Banner into like think he's working on some satellite in space when in fact he's being shot off.
Yeah.
And then a video comes on, it's the Illuminati telling him we're sending you to a planet, you'll be the only like smart being there. And he hulks out and the ship goes off course into that portal.
Yeah.
And then lands on Sakaar.
Yeah.
Sakaar.
Dude, I also like that in that video, they say, they're like, you're the most dangerous person on this planet.
Yeah.
Like, they tell, like, he's the greatest liability.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet considering, like, Earth has crazy villains, like Magneto, Doctor Doom. You know what I mean? Like, and Hulk is deemed, like, the most
dangerous. Well, they can't stop him.
They also, like, he's so unreliable. Like, yeah, like, they know Bruce Banner's, like, good and the Hulk fights alongside sometimes, but you just never know.
Yeah. I was going to say the way they handle the Hulk in the Ultimates in that version of the Avengers and like the Hulk, like he's just like basically their first villain. Like he's like fucking like unstoppable in the Ultimates that like there's really nothing they could do about it. Like
no, it's like the Avengers versus him.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what I even love about the first Avengers movie when they fight Hulk on the helicarrier.
Yeah.
And he just like, dude, he like fucks them up, honestly.
Yeah. I love that. I love that Hulk is one of the most powerful. I hate that they nerfed him in the later part of the series.
I agree. They definitely nerfed him. Damn, that's a good. Someone just said that last week. I've never heard that. Is that a term?
Yeah.
Nerfed? Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay. I've heard it like so far once a week now. That's crazy. Nerfed.
Once a week.
But I love that Hulk is one of the most powerful, but he's in that like I feel like Wasted Cody and the Hulk identify with each other. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be good, but he's just too chaotic and
Yeah.
unfocused.
And the more you
Yeah.
try to stop him, the more he's going to want to do that thing.
Right.
Yeah, and go crazier. Exactly.
And the stronger he gets.
One of the coolest things about Planet Hulk is that you get to see also like the Hulk is like, you know, a lot of the time at least like in the beginning of the story towards the middle, like he's just like, all right, like I freed us, like I don't need to do anything anymore. Like I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. But he's always like compelled to like save the day. He's still like a hero, even if he doesn't want to.
Yeah. I mean, he always, he does it like he'll do it like he'll be like reluctant. He'll just be like, great, now I have to save these puny,
he's
like,
I guess
I
it's
have
up
to
to me.
save
I'm
these
the
puny
best.
humans. You know, like, it's always like, yeah, exactly, because he's so great. I mean, he doesn't even want to be like, dude, like, so basically, like, for anyone who hasn't read this, he pretty much overthrows this emperor of this planet and liberates these people who are like enslaved one way or another, and pretty much like brings peace to this planet. That's like the very short version.
Yeah, exactly.
But he doesn't like intend to become the leader. Like he eventually gets like made. Into
They choose for him because he's because he's an unstoppable monster.
He's just the fucking man, yeah.
And two, because
he's got a big green dick.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Just those two things.
Also, literally his blood brings life to the planet.
It does,
Oh, yeah.
He
I
fulfills
forgot
the
about
prophecy that the
Yeah,
people of this
exactly.
planet have.
Yeah, you're right. The indigenous people like have this prophecy, more or less, that like the green scar will come and his life's blood will bring life to the planet, like plants, like you see like plants and shit start growing.
Yeah.
And he just turns this like other, like it's pretty much like Dune. He turns Dune into a utopia.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
The prophecy also says that there's a world breaker too, though.
ooh.
And they're not sure at first if he's the world breaker or he's like the green scar or the scar son, whatever they call it.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much both.
Yeah, well, he is. By the end of the story, like we find out
He's
some things.
both.
Yeah.
But dude, so let's like, I don't know. I really love like the all the people he meets as far as his what's
Hey,
cool.
the Warbound.
Warbound, there we
Warbound,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
Also very Gladiator like. If you like, especially considering, do you remember the big guy? You have Digimon Hinsu,
Yeah.
and then you have the bigger dude.
Yeah.
You got to watch Gladiator, Anthony, because you'll see it's like literally.
I will. Maybe that's what I think I'm going to watch Gladiator tonight. Seriously,
Yeah, you should.
Dude,
I
it's
need to
such
watch
a good movie.
It's a great movie, yeah.
Dude, I would honestly be down to do a Gladiator.
I would tell it,
episode
dude.
one day.
Joaquin
Ooh, okay.
Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is great in that. It's
He's a
Nice.
psychopath.
yeah, he's a fucking sick motherfucker.
Yeah.
Comatose, busy little bee.
Dude, he's so crazy.
So is the equivalent to him like the emperor of this planet, like
Yeah.
the red dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then it just takes it a step further, where like the Hulk liberates his planet and becomes emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, I love Korg.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how Korg is drawn, and then to see his live action version. Like, yeah, they look alike as far as rock, but Korg is like orange rock and stone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second, because we're never going to get a Planet Hulk live action because of Thor Ragnarok.
That's too
Which is a
bad.
big bummer.
It's a huge bummer.
Like Thor Ragnarok. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love that movie. It's a great movie. But
Great movie.
it took a lot from Planet Hulk, and in a way that we'll never be able to, like, you know, sometimes they take certain story elements, but like they just took like the Gladiator part of it and like kind of being like have those slave discs so that like whoever's in charge can control you. Like that's all from Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Korg and Meek are from Planet Hulk, but like they nerfed those guys as well. Like they're not even similar. You know, they're just like jokes. They're not jokes in this story.
Dude, Meek becomes like a fundamentalist in the comic.
Meek is insane.
Yeah, Meek is
Meek
insane.
becomes like he gets
Like a terrorist.
Yeah, he becomes a terrorist.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He really does,
And
though.
Korg
Like,
isn't
Meek
really.
isn't, like-
I love Taika Waititi's Korg, but he's not that jokey
yeah.
like he's not that jokey in the comic book.
Oh no, like he's
a serious
about-
man.
Yeah. A cool thing about Korg is that like it's a character that they, I guess, in a really early Thor comic, Thor fights those types of aliens, and they bring it back that like Korg basically fought Thor.
Well, so also if you actually go back and watch Thor 2 in the opening battle, he fights one of Korg's people too.
You're right. Yep, he does.
Everyone remembers the classic Thor 2 Dark
Thor 2
World.
The Dark World. Yeah.
That movie was so bad.
Quick.
It was bad.
Joe Pesci, Thor Dark World. Cody, go.
One. Oh, sorry.
One, go. Okay, 1.
0.8.
0.8. Wow. I'll give it a 2 actually.
It was such a stinker.
I don't.
Yeah, it was bad.
And Kat Dennings really annoyed me in it, so.
We know how much you love Kat Dennings.
Darcy,
a classic Darcy.
Darcy's Playground. That was dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, anyways, back to Planet Hulk because I can't talk about Kat Dennings or I'll have an aneurysm.
Planet Hulk is such a cool story, but we'll never be able to just see.
We'll never get to see it all its glory, which we should have been able to.
They did an animated version, but they changed a decent bit.
Yeah, they did.
And it's just not as good. It was around the time where like Marvel was like, maybe we can step up and compete with DC, who was absolutely obliterating the animated movie game at the time. And Marvel released this, and while I think it was probably their best release around the time,
absolutely, yeah,
it was still kind of a stinker.
I wouldn't call it a stinker. I thought it was pretty true to the comic, but yeah, they changed a lot.
It was true to the comic, but honestly, the comic is so much better than the animated film.
Yeah. It just doesn't hold a candle to the comic.
Yeah.
I feel like if they wanted to do a better one, they could have done it as a 2-parter.
Yeah. Marvel doesn't like to make animated movies. It's weird. Like they should. There's so much potential there. DC does so many.
I think they feel like DC has it on lock.
Yeah, DC be killing
Which for the most part is true.
Yeah, but that seems like a weird reason not to. Like, I feel like that's money on the table. Like, they should be like, well, if DC's like, making bank from those kind of movies.
I agree, but think about this. Think about how many Marvel movies have been put out since Iron Man as opposed to DC superhero movies. There's a lot more.
Okay. They just have a different focus.
There's a lot more. I think DC almost feels like at the rate that they release live action movies that they want each movie to be like a big dramatic spectacle. Whereas like Marvel kind of like churns and churns and churns,
Yeah, Marvel's just shitting constantly.
Seriously, there's content. How many Disney Plus shows have there been? Marvel shows in the last 6 months.
Since 2020.
Yeah, since 2020. There's a shit ton. Like they really do make content.
Yeah, they're fucking pumping.
They are pumping and dumping, bro.
Pumping and dumping. That's what it feels like with the quality of shit that's been coming out.
Oh, have you guys secured tickets for Doctor Strange 2?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's in like what, 2 weeks? 3?
Yeah,
no, that's in like a month. Like literally.
It comes out in May. You're right.
May 6th.
May 6th.
Yeah,
So still like 3 weeks.
Just a couple days under a month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get tickets week of. It'll be fine because I'm gonna go like probably around like 4 or 5 o'clock. People aren't getting tickets around that time.
Yeah,
I've been hearing that movie Everywhere, Everyone at Once or something, whatever it's called, is
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
Dude,
movie.
So far 3 people have told me it's fucking incredible, and like,
I
gotta see it.
My friend said it was the most fun he's had watching a movie in the last year.
Dude, I love how A24 was like,
let's do a multiverse movie.
We'll release a better multiverse. Yeah. We'll release an Oscar-worthy multiverse movie like just a few weeks before Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
A24 is fire, honestly.
Yeah. It looks and it does look cooler than the Doctor Strange. Their trailer at least looks cooler than the Multiverse of Madness trailer. I think. Like
I agree.
Seems like a more interesting take on the multiverse.
Yeah,
but
I'm not counting Sam Raimi out. I love Sam Raimi. I don't want to see him fail.
Honestly, like let's be honest. I'm gonna enjoy Doctor Strange too. But, maybe hopefully. It's time for let A24 do a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they would have just given Sam Raimi free reign rather than it being like a muddle, you know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, so I read a good thing that like Matt Reeves had a lot of creative control on the Batman.
Yeah.
And Marvel is notorious for not giving their directors 100% creative control. I mean, it's one of the reasons Edgar Wright dropped out of directing Ant-Man. He was like, no, dude, this isn't an Edgar Wright movie anymore. It's just like me making like a product for these people. So
yeah.
I feel like Taika Waititi somehow like circumvented that in a weird way.
Taika Waititi's humor to begin with is pretty palatable and marketable. I mean, I've watched that, what's it called? That our flag means death, which I actually don't like. I thought it was corny. But like,
That's not him though. He was
you
just
sure?
on it. He actually had nothing
really
positive.
I thought he created that.
No,
Are we verifying that?
he did not. I saw it. I looked at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. He was just he's a part of it. He might have been like a
yeah.
producer.
Oh, okay.
But he
For some reason,
wasn't
I thought it was his show.
He wasn't like the direct. He wasn't the director or showrunner or whatever.
Gotcha.
Either way, between like What We Do in the Shadows, like I think his humor is more. You can mark that into like a Marvel kids friendly thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's you know what I mean. Like you'll never get a quality that he had put into like Jojo Rabbit, put into a Marvel movie.
True.
Just because it gets filtered so heavily, you know.
Yeah, actually, I think Jojo Rabbit is like my least favorite of all his.
I like Jojo Rabbit.
I like it too.
I liked it. I think Anthony, you
I don't know.
you just
like
hate
that
Jews, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Would that be considered self-hatred?
Are you Jew? You're not Jewish.
No,
I am. What do you mean?
He has a
I'm
quarter.
A quarter Jew in you?
from my grandfather's side.
Oh.
Yes.
yeah, we've talked
Oh,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
actually.
Yeah. It comes and goes. Sometimes Jake's like, "Oh yeah, you are," and then he's like, "No, you're not."
Well,
Never.
your name is Anthony
Never.
Iannaccio.
It's not. My name is Anthony Irving Iannaccio, actually.
I love how Irving is the Jewish giveaway.
That's my grandfather's
No,
name.
no,
I'm
yeah.
named after my grandfather's.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happens in Planet Hulk. The Hulk discovers, or everyone's like, "Hulk, you're Jewish." He's like, "Didn't you know?"
Yeah. Yeah. Hulk's like, no, I'm only a quarter Jewish, and then he goes on a rampage.
He tears down the red.
Yeah, it's like
He tears down
he's
the Red
world
Kings.
breaker.
Yeah.
The prophecy is true.
Whether it's on Earth or outer space, Jews are always the destroyer of worlds.
That's insane.
I'm allowed to say it. I'm Jewish.
Yeah, just so you know, guys. I'm also allowed to say it because Jake's my friend. And that's- so anyway, how about the Hulk slanging some dick in this
Dude,
story?
yeah, he was slaying
Yeah.
puss in this. Whether it was like
Yeah.
Gladiator groupies or
like harem.
yeah, his hair. Yeah, remember that one
Yeah.
scene where he's on his bed and there's just like mad women in it, like purple alien women.
Yeah, slaying that big
Dude,
green dick.
shout out to those women who can take that big green dick because Hulk could murder, like could split someone in half.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's why he eventually marries fucking what is her name? Kara, the old strong. She's one of
Yeah.
the gray aliens on
She
that
was hot.
planet
Mm-hmm.
who are fucking really strong and like they're basically superheroes in their
Yeah.
own right. Like they're just like naturally like
yeah, like
beasts.
super strong and like naturally
Yeah.
dank warriors and shit.
Yep.
Um,
And they kind of channel the planet's energy, which is even
very
cooler.
Avatar like.
Yeah, she's on the side of the Red King the entire time until the Red King sacrifices that entire village with those
Oh,
spikes.
dude, that
Yep.
Red King, the Red
The
King was such a
spikes.
bitch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate
Yeah,
that motherfucker.
right. Like when I was reading, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I hope this dude dies brutally.
That was the only Jeff Goldblum was way cooler than the Red King.
Really?
The Red
Wait, so
King.
you would have seen I remember when I saw Ragnarok, I was like, oh, like once again, like the Red King's not in it. I don't know, why not paint Jeff Goldblum red and have him be the Red King or whatever? But I did like his. Yeah.
No, that would have been cooler. But I'm saying I liked his character more than the Red King.
I get what you
They're
mean.
different.
Like, and we haven't talked about. We were going to talk
Yeah.
about like. I guess we did talk about like Korg and Meek, and then I guess Kara, the old
Well,
strong,
basically, yeah,
joins
so
the group.
he
There's
forms
also-
this like bond with his other enslaved gladiators,
Yeah,
and pretty much they like grow together and they like overthrow the emperor. Even though Meek does so too. Meek, who's like, I love Meek because he starts off so like timid and scared, and then he becomes like a leader of his
Yeah.
race. What is his people called again?
he evolves.
Yeah, he literally, physically, Pokemon style,
Yeah,
evolves into the next version of his species, which is like,
he becomes thick. Meek.
yes,
Thick Meek.
He is thick.
Thick
yeah,
Meek.
Thick Meek.
I fucking hate Meek though. He's a little shit. Fuck Meek. I don't like.
Yeah, they.
Ooh, I like him in this. I like that he kind of becomes because the thing is
Dude, he gets empowered
would
by
have
the
somebody
Hulk.
that would-
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you would have somebody that would get radicalized, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, but his whole philosophy is like, I learned it from watching you, Hulk. All right.
He did. Hulk
That's why I
murdered
did it.
anything
Like,
and everyone in his path. And Meek, who starts off like this little insect, was like, yes, nah, thank you. And
the Hulk knows when to not fuck shit up. Like you see that throughout Planet Hulk. He's like, no, this is not the time for like smashing. Basically, he's like, the Hulk knows when to smash.
I think he does a fair amount of knowing when to smash and just smashing.
Yeah.
I guess so. There's just something about Meek. Like I don't trust his loyalty, if that makes sense. Like it's just I don't like him.
Well, he's a insane little bug man.
Yeah.
Why would
He does
you?
become radicalized, though. You're right, Cody.
Yeah.
He becomes like a Meek fundamentalist.
ISIS Meek.
Yeah, ISIS. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Al Qaeda Meek.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what happens when you fund terrorists.
Ooh, are you saying the Hulk?
Frank Miller Meek?
Oh, Frank Miller Meek.
Oh, that's insane.
Wait, but are you also saying that the Hulk funded terrorism on Sakaar?
I mean, nah. I'd be fighting alongside the Hulk if it were up. I would be in the war bond.
Yeah,
warbound.
We would be
warbound.
Okay, who are we in the warbound?
Who do you think? This is a toughie.
Cody kind of called dibs on the Hulk earlier. He's like, I would be the Hulk, because I get blackout drunk, so I'm the Hulk. You're the Hulk.
Okay, that's cool.
I accept that.
Jake,
you're me.
I'm not me. Why am I me? Fuck you. There's no way. Anthony is Meek.
I'm not Meek. No,
why am I Meek?
Oh,
because he gets radicalized.
You're the most Meek. No, it's not like a radicalized thing. Because the other thing about Meek is like he becomes like the king of his people, right? Like that's Meek. Like it's not like Meek is like his like name and like original stature is like a throwaway almost, but like by the end of the story, like he's in charge of his own people.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like he's not just a follower of Hulk. Like he is radicalized, but like he uses the Hulk's ways to like basically free the bug people on the planet as well. Like he's like, no, like you guys can't kill us too. That's just as fucked up.
So you're acknowledging my natural leadership abilities.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but you also would be like, nah, let's blow this shit up.
Yeah,
I wanted to be the male Shadow Warrior.
Hiram the Shame, that dude.
I want to be that.
Okay.
That dude was
Cool as
sick.
fuck.
I feel like you're too funny to be him.
Yeah, he was so like cardboard.
Then if I'm Meek, who the fuck is Anthony? Because if it's between Harasham or whatever and Korg, you're not any of them.
I can't be Korg, but I am the calmest one.
Dude, he's my wife.
I think you might.
I'm gonna impregnate Anthony.
It was coming.
Dude, we'll rule together, Anthony. Until Jake
I come to
comes
overthrow
between
you
us.
guys. Oh, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess that's more now.
Dude, Anthony, you Photoshop like a picture of us together, my face and your face.
That's hilarious.
Hey, well, that's a cool combo because it eventually makes Scar Hulk's son. So that he's like
Her
born
baby,
from,
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Somehow.
our boy.
yeah, somehow. So that's something that happens. Like, so the Hulk marries Kara, the old strong, and we know she's pregnant, and we know the Hulk is like, I guess I'm gonna settle down and be a king. Like he decides to be a king.
It's also
like,
so he's like finally at peace too.
Yeah.
He himself,
Like, people accept him.
People accept him. He doesn't have to like smash. He has a wife. hot.
He's not a monster.
He's not a
on that
Maya. He's
planet.
not a monster. They all like literally look up to him.
Happiest he's ever been.
Yeah, and
Happiest he's ever been.
until
And any monster that you think is on the planet, you find out their backstory. You find out actually that they could actually coexist with everyone else to the point where those spikes, it's actually like these sentient like particles that are just lost and need to reunite, and Hulk needs to find the rest of them. You know, it's just like, it's not a main part of the story, but like Hulk literally saves the entire planet, and then it all goes to shit.
Because of
Well, we don't find that out in the story yet. That's the thing.
true.
yeah.
At the
Wait,
end of
what?
this-
I don't know anything. I didn't read past Planet Hulk, so I'm only going off of. I'm counting canon only
Yeah.
what this is.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that out actually
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I think it counts as a spoiler that maybe we shouldn't mention, at least in this episode, if people want to keep reading. It just never is mentioned in Planet Hulk. So like,
Yeah, it's
okay,
not. It's not a Planet Hulk thing.
it's in World War Hulk. You find out it's like a big part of World War Hulk where you find.
Yeah.
So hold on. So let's talk about it, right? So at the end, Hulk finds, he remembers, or Meek finds. And I think the Brood Queen, who's also part of the
Oh
Warbound.
yeah,
Remember the Brood Queen?
I
was
forgot
part
all
of
about the Brood
Warbound.
Queen. She was cool. You could be that, Anthony.
Yeah,
You could.
I could be the Brood Queen.
I think I like you better as the as
my wife.
Hulk's wife.
Yeah. No, but so Meek and the Brood Queen find like the video of the Illuminati, the message, and they're like remind Hulk of what's going on. It's like, oh shit, like we know this is how the Hulk was sent here, and then like the Hulk is like remembering, and like the story kind of ends. The story ends with the ship exploding, and you're kind of like, oh shit, like Reed Richards and Tony Stark, like it's their fault, like that just happened because that ship is from them. Like they must have been trying to kill the Hulk or something because that shit just exploded and wiped out whatever life Hulk had on that planet.
They in the comic, the Illuminati says there's like another part of the video, and they say like, or he learns that he wasn't supposed to go into any portal. The ship was supposed to always blow up.
No, not that it was supposed to blow up. It was just supposed to go somewhere else to like a peaceful planet.
Oh, I thought it was implied that it was. They were lying when they said that, and that it was always meant to kill the Hulk, and that the bomb.
Oh
never,
yeah, that is what is implied.
The
You're
bomb,
right.
the bomb never went off, and then all of a sudden it starts beeping.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
I got good memory.
And so the comic ends with the Hulk like with his crown on because he's the king of Sakaar, and like he's heading towards Earth. You know that's where he's
It's
going.
a great, it's a great shot
Right?
on the spaceship, and you see them looking out on
Yeah.
Earth, and it's like Korg and Meek behind him and everyone.
Yeah, it's almost like the end of Thor Ragnarok, but
Cooler,
way cooler.
cooler. Yeah,
Infinitely cooler. Just like the entire comic was cooler than Thor
yeah,
Ragnarok.
I agree.
Yeah, it's also basically Meek's idea. He's like, "Oh shit, we need to go to Earth and fuck shit up, huh, Hulk? Don't we? We need to get like revenge."
I'm
right?
not
We need to get
counting. If I didn't read it for canon purposes,
No, that happens at the end of Planet Hulk, is what I'm saying. Like he's just like,
no. Hulk
it's like
decides
a-
to go to Earth and fuck shit up.
oh, absolutely, Hulk decides, but like Meek is an instigator, is what I'm saying. He stokes the flames. Like the Hulk is like
Yeah.
deciding to go to Earth, but Meek and even the Brood Queen's like, yeah, I bet there would be a lot of like revenge to be had or something like that. Like they're just like, yeah, let's go fuck shit up. We're down to fuck shit up. Like that's the warbound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well.
Just like us.
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, we're down to fuck shit up.
I agree. No, yeah, it's a fucking dope ass comic.
Yeah, it's seriously one of the best Marvel comics. I would put in my top 10, maybe even top 5 of the past like 20 years.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I really love this comic. I love what happens after it. I do love World War Hulk. I love all of Greg Pak's, the rest of his Hulk run. I read it all. It gets crazier and crazier. It's cool. I love Hulk.
I think World War Hulk is great, but not as good as Planet.
No, definitely not. It's not the same.
Very different.
It's like the Hulk after all this happens now confronting the heroes of the Marvel
Illuminati.
universe, the Illuminati, the Avengers, pretty much everybody, and he's on a rampage.
Wait, after we close this episode, I want to stay on just so you can tell me that.
Oh
now
yeah,
it
absolutely.
bothers
Wait, you
them.
never read World War
No.
Hulk?
I
Yeah.
never read-
Oh shit. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe we have
Dude,
to do
we
that.
should do an episode.
Yeah, we
But
should.
I've
especially
heard
if you
it's
haven't
not
read
that
it.
good.
Oh, it's really good.
No.
Really?
No, it's really great.
Oh.
It's like Cody's saying, it's just not as good as Planet Hulk. Like that doesn't mean
okay.
it's bad. It's just Planet Hulk is just so great.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah,
not.
it's kind
I
of
get it.
like how
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they just don't compare.
Yeah.
It'd be like, you know what I mean? Just like how you get it.
Yeah.
But,
Apples to
yeah.
oranges.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's the right expression, but
Yeah.
wait. All right. So how many Joe Pesci's we giving this?
Oh, you know what it is from me. my guy.
I got to
think you know
give it
what
a
it
hard
is.
6, my dudes.
6
That's a
6
hard-
baby.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
I agree, man. This deserves the reign of the beast because that's what Hulk is in this. He is a fucking beast. He's just a
Yeah.
pure
Yep.
monster.
That 666 is Hulk's beast
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He earned it.
Yeah.
It's
in
my
this
favorite.
story.
It's my favorite Hulk story. It's my number one recommend Hulk story. I'm saying if like this is another comic where you don't need to know any backstory, pick it up, read it. It's
also just like
it made me fall in love with the Hulk.
Yeah, it's like a great like.
That's why I married him.
One shot. Yeah.
Dude, I love that. Dude, Anthony, we need to edit your wedding photos.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Just the Hulk and
That's awesome. Yeah, 666 for sure.
Well, guys, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Get out of here, fucking squares.
I like the idea of kicking our audience off our own podcast. Beat it, lames.
Yeah. Thanks for hearing about us, you fucking hearing about how we are.
Yeah. Go share our shit, you fucking pieces of fuck.
Trash. Let the world know how cool we are, you human garbage.
You fucking scumbags.
Yeah, you communist scum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
But we love you.
Commies. Yeah, we love
you because of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go to comicsandchronic.com.
Yeah, show our website some love, just like we showed you some
Yeah.
love. Yeah, they
Actually, I won't address the commies directly. It's like they're beneath me, so I'm not gonna really say much.
Anthony's like the Red King now towards our own fan base.
Yeah.
Ugh, the commies.
Oh, maybe it was a good thing that the bomb went off. That's what his life would have turned into.
Shit.
Damn.
Damn.
Fuck.
Well, we'll see you next week.
Oh yeah.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jacob H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.